Every winter, Scandinavia prepares itself for some pretty cold weather, with temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below zero centigrade. But the winter of 1965-66 proved an exception. The temperature plummeted to 58 degrees below zero, locking Denmark, Norway, Sweden and Finland in the grip of Ice Age conditions. The Baltic Sea froze into a solid sheet of ice, in places 30 feet thick. Harbours and shipping came to a standstill. This was a long 6-month winter from November till April. Heavy snowfalls and hard easterly winds played havoc with road transport. Houses groaned under the weight on the roofs. For the children, it was scooter sledging to school along roads tunneled through deep banks of snow. With no car ferries operating between Finland and Sweden, they drove 100 miles across the frozen sea. But one Finnish mining company had been waiting 3 years for such a winter, so that they could explore an iron ore deposit 12 miles out to sea without hiring expensive marine drilling equipment. Simple drilling rigs, set up on the frozen sea, bored through the ice to bring up samples of iron ore from beneath the seabed. The big freeze-up helped this company. But for Sweden and Finland, which like Britain rely on shipping for their trade, this hard winter proved a major economic setback. And but for a handful of tough government-run icebreakers, like the Finnish Sampo to keep a few ports open, this winter could have brought chaos. In a hard winter, these icebreakers put to sea in November and work almost continuously through to June. Built in Finland, their hulls are specially strengthened with 1 1/4-inch steel plates. Extra engine power drives them up onto the ice to break it by sheer weight. Their job is to cut a channel through the frozen sea so that a convoy of ships can follow in their wake. They can steam at a steady 8 knots through ice 12 to 18 inches thick. Sampo has steamed out into clear water in the southern Baltic to pick up a waiting convoy. Now the 250-mile slog back through pack ice to Helsinki harbour begins. Winter work for icebreaker crews is tough. 4 hours on watch, 4 hours off. Summer months are easier, in harbour refitting the ship. But a convoy of merchant ships can't always just follow in the wake of an icebreaker. Here, the moving ice has closed in on the convoy, and the icebreaker has had to return to free them. With a new channel cut, the ships slowly start following Sampo again. During the winter, these Baltic icebreakers come into port for only a few hours every month. And with a convoy in heavy ice, a trip which in clear water would take 24 hours can take as long as 4 days. 4 days of constantly searching ahead for the best way through the ice field. Yes, these Finnish icebreakers have women crew members. There are 6 cooks and stewardesses aboard to look after 45 men and to keep the ship spotlessly clean below decks. Discipline is strict on questions of crew relationships. Any trouble between men and women means the sack instantly. In Sampo's crew, there is one married couple, a stewardess and an engineer. They have separate cabins. Steaming through the ice at night is particularly tricky. Searchlights help to pick out the best course ahead, while ice reports come in by radio to the duty officer. Below decks, 8,000 horsepower diesel engines are going flat out to smash Sampo through the ice. With the morning watch, the ice is getting thicker. The helmsman is alert for any alteration of course. But sometimes the ice is too thick in every direction, even for the icebreaker. Sampo is stuck. The convoy stops. Sampo, with 2 of her 4 engines driving reversing propellers under her bow, goes astern to free herself. The convoy is frozen in by now, so Sampo must break it out again before making a new channel. Even in ice convoys, ships and icebreakers need pilots in restricted areas, and this is how they go aboard during a Baltic winter. The convoy is on the move again, each ship following closely in the wake of the other, ships of all nations, carrying Scandinavia's essential imports and exports. Voima, another of Finland's icebreakers, comes to the rescue of 2 merchant ships firmly stuck in the ice. The icebreaker circles the last ship to free the ice, and then cuts in just ahead of her to make a channel. An icebreaker's bow is cut away just below the waterline so that she rides up onto the ice to smash it. Soon the ship is following in the breaker's wake, and the whole convoy is moving again. For the captains of these merchant ships, ice convoys are a nightmare. The ships must keep close enough to stop the channel from freezing again. And if the ship ahead gets stuck, the next ship must stop quickly or there'll be a collision. The captain of this British ship, which is really iced in, had been on the bridge in ice for 3 days and nights without sleep. As a last resort, because the ice is so thick, the breaker takes this ship in tow. Somehow, no matter how thick or how far the ice field stretches, trade and shipping in the Baltic must be kept on the move. Yes, it was a hard winter for the icebreakers and their crews. The coldest winter that Scandinavia had known for 100 years. But the youngsters will remember it as a wonderful time for skiing.